Hello everybody and welcome back to Farm Sim 25 and welcome back to our New Frontier Survival Challenge here at Hidden Spring Timbers on the New Frontier map. I think I said New Frontier already, but I'm sorry. Anyway, you guys are going to be joining me today for selling off this gigantic load of products that we have created from our sawmill. We also have a whole bunch of sawdust over there. Of course, we're not going to get rid of that until like January, so it's just going to keep building up until then. But I've got an update for you guys. You guys may have been paying attention that there's actually a couple of months have passed. Mainly because I wanted to get as much product as possible out so that today could be the day that we start working on our yard expansion that we've been promising for several episodes. And in that time, it's all gone. There's no more mess. It's all gone. Look at that. It's like we planned it. It's crazy. But we still have this entire forest behind us. This forest will continue to feed this sawmill for the foreseeable future as needed. So that's going to be very nice. But in the meantime, let's get Mac delivering, shall we? It's currently 10 a.m. and Mac has some stuff to take in. So let's get this stuff sold. Hopefully this will give us enough money to work on a yard expansion for the area. Now, I will be getting rid of that silo because that was just temporary anyway. But yeah, we'll be getting rid of that, and then we will be building up our area. And then the next thing that I want to do is buy the property adjacent to us so that we can we can connect the road here. And then it's time, well, we've got to do one more thing for the logging side of things, and that is plant the new expansion area for the tree farm after we clear that. Okay, and then after that, then it will be time to start incorporating farming into this playthrough. A lot of you guys have been bringing it up, and I agree. Moving on from this playthrough at this point seems like a bit of a waste, right? We've put a lot of effort into this series, and so why not see it through? So we are going to be trying to push towards the next goal of breaking away from the logging side of things, using the money that we make from logging to start our new I wouldn't say new, what's the word I'm looking for? A whole new project, right? The farming side of things, a whole new business essentially. Instead of Hidden Springs Timbers will be the backbone. The financial backing that we need, but yeah, the new section's going to be all about the farming. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this progresses even further. It's essentially kind of like starting over, but not really, because now we've got all the money we could ever ask for, right? Like we're going to be able to print money at will, essentially, with our logging business. And so getting equipment to start farming is not going to be a problem. But let's go ahead and pull these straps off, drive through the little trigger. There's another $90,000 in the bank. We have $414,000 to build our yard. Will it be enough? I don't know. I'm hoping it is. But one of the other things people have been mentioning is that they would like to see me potentially branch off from our lumber mill that we've got and maybe make some sort of carpentry or something to make even more end goal products that would benefit from our logging. So I'm not opposed to it. It's just something we haven't done yet. So we'll look into it. That'll be even more money for us. But yeah, the main goal for us from here on out will be to push towards the direction, wrapping up the Hidden Spring Timber side of the playthrough, and start breaking out into the farming side of the thing. Now this map has a lot of trees, but it also has quite a bit of open fields. And with Hidden Spring Timber over here, capable of clearing entire forests as needed, I don't think it's going to be a problem to clear a couple of trees now and then to put down a massive field for whatever we want to grow. And so I want you guys to start thinking about how do we start our farming. Now for me, the obvious answer to that question would be to start with either corn and soy, or going into like cereal crops right out the gate. And that opens up the possibility for doing like animals and stuff too eventually, but again, that's a long ways down the road. This series is going to stick around. You guys want to see more of it? I've had a lot of people joining the live streams and stuff saying that they have been thoroughly enjoying this, so I'm glad to hear it. So the series will continue, just in a different direction than it is currently sitting. But yeah, as we've gotten this all done, the next thing that we want to do is to jump into the old construction menu, I think. Let's go ahead and save real quick before we get started. And we'll go over the look of the area and see if we can't figure out what we want to do from a yard standpoint. Wait, how much does that hold? 3,500 liter bucket. It's not bad. Be nice if I had a front loader to pull all the stuff out of the bunker when we need it and load up the old trailer. But yeah. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're more concerned with trying to set this area up as our equipment storage. So let's get into it. First things first, you got to go. So it's gone. So we have this entire area that's over here as a nice area that we can use for building. Also, there seems to be a twig. Hold that thought. That twig will drive me crazy otherwise. Where's this twig? It's here. I know you're here. Okay, it's apparently behind me. It's crazy how the grass hides everything. Ah, there you are. You can't hide from me, twig. You're going into the sawmill. You will make some fine sawdust to sell in a couple of months. Boop. And it's gone. Just like that. Alright. So, the next thing we want to do is kind of look into what we want in terms of our overall construction. Right? So, we've already got this big area here, but we also have this area down here. So, I think we just wrap this concrete or this gravel around this direction. Right? And just fill in the area. So that's what we're going to do first. We're just going to go into the painting side of things. We're going to grab our gravel. I don't ever remember which gravel it is, but I think it's this one. Yeah. We're going to go maximum size. We will actually change the shape. So that we can bring this up this direction. Okay. Let's try to bring that out a little bit further. And again, all this stuff can be adjusted over time. But the main thing that we want to do is just kind of connect all this stuff over. All right, and fill in the gaps. This will also showcase where the ground needs to be adjusted as well. So now that we've done the painting, now we should be able to go into soften. Bring the softener in here. You can see the game is struggling, which is another thing that I've been noticing lately. Is that the game is not very thrilled with us for the amount of stuff that we've done to this map. But by softening the area a little bit, it's going to make it easier for us to go through and do our building. So now you guys can see the basic layout of the area. We can also adjust this as needed. But the next thing we want to do is look at buildings. So let's go into sheds and see what we can do. I've installed a lot of mods for sheds, so I'm interested to see how many different sheds that there are now. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's not gonna work. This isn't bad. And I like the fact that it's got like a wooden base. But the question is, like, what is the height of this building? I mean, it looks pretty good, honestly. So that's good. As long as it's big enough. Like, I actually like this building quite a bit. So I'm thinking that this building can go here. I don't know what it's overlapping, though. So I may just go ahead and place this anyway. So I think we just kind of put this back in this. What in the world is going on? Like, I feel like these are kind of in the way. So maybe we'll give them a little bit of room. But we can cut all that stuff down at some point. Just kind of make room. But I do want to use this building. So I'm thinking we go back this direction. And slap that right there. Seems to have worked. It's pretty nice. I didn't realize it was open on both sides. God dang it. I can sell it for 80,000 as well. I didn't realize this was open on both sides. Also, I think I see what it was overlapping with. There's some stumps. Yeah, I didn't realize this was open on both sides. That's on me. In that case, let me go ahead and sell it. Let's get rid of these stumps that are over here. We do have big little green right here, so we can get rid of those stumps pretty quickly. But basically, I wanted to expand the area because I wanted to make sure that we had enough room for everything. I didn't want it to feel cluttered. We've got plenty of room on this map and in our area that we should not be feeling clustered. Or, you know. So I'm just trying to make sure that we clean up where we can. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Now, because we know it goes in and out through the front and the back, we want to leave this a little bit further this direction. So I'm thinking right there is probably fine. So we'll go ahead and slap that down there. And again, I'm going to... I don't know if I can paint that or not. It's kind of concrete, isn't it? One of the downsides of working on a map that's not flat. I guess I could have flattened it a little bit better. But I do like this shed. This will be a good little storage shed for us. I somehow managed to get further away from where I wanted to be. But yeah. So I think that's going to be our main equipment storage. It should be plenty big enough to hold all of our equipment for this. We still have plenty of room for any productions that we want to make as well. So, like, we should have no trouble bringing in our stuff. Plus the fact that it is a drive-through version. Also, I'm assuming there's a light switch somewhere. Aha! Light switch. Beautiful. So we've got lights. We can park our equipment in here, no problem. Trying to think. What else do we need in terms of our overall storage area? If we look at construction again and we go into productions, you guys mentioned potentially a biogas plant for having some sort of energy production, which we can use our sawdust to keep going. We don't have any silage to keep it going. But the other thing you guys mentioned was a carpentry. Now this is $300,000. We could go ahead and do this, but it transforms goods into, well, furniture, I believe. I don't think it does anything else. So it is solely for furniture. And then I think there's one other. Yeah, you can do a paper mill, which takes trees, turns it into paper. The sawmill we've already got. That sawmill is actually capable of producing prefabricated, or yeah, prefab walls. There's also coopers, cooperage, so you can have this turn into like wooden buckets and stuff like that. And then we get into the small stuff that nobody cares about. Alright, so as far as cooperage goes, I don't think that's necessary. And I don't think we necessarily need another sawmill. Like, this is the other sawmill. Yeah, I don't see this being a thing that we're going to be adding. So we're not going to be making prefab walls. But what we can do is look into buying the $300,000 carpentry. So this is pretty massive in terms of buildings. So I think this building would also come over this direction as well. I'm thinking like right here on this corner seems like an ideal place for it. Somewhere around here. So that's going to be $300,000. And it will take planks and long planks and trees and turn it into furniture. And that will also make us more money. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this now. So we'll go ahead and do that. That is terrible the way that that ground just deformed. So we're going to have to try to fix that as best we can. Oh. Try to smooth it out as best we can here. Sometimes the auto leveling in this game, not the greatest. And what really gets annoying is when you get into that area restricted crap too. Because then it stops you from being able to make it work out. But now that we've got it kind of working. Again, it's not perfect. But if I can just kind of sneak in here. And just kind of smooth the area out a little bit. Get rid of the hard points. It's just right there on the corner that's giving me the most trouble. I think that's probably about as good as we're going to get that. All right, and then if we go back into painting, get our gravel back out, then we should be able to paint back over this. Get rid of the area that's looking a little bit off. Perfect. And just kind of tuck it in here around the front. And that gravel texture will also help hide the changes in elevation a little bit right there on that corner. But overall, it doesn't look too bad. Now, what we can go ahead and do now is start distributing to our new production. So let me go ahead and grab, thought I could grab this. Oh, that's a sell wood trigger. I need this production point. There we go. All right, so we've got our sawmill and we've got our carpentry. Now, currently we are storing our regular planks, and I don't know which one is going to be our best way to do this. So I'm thinking if 10 planks long makes 14 furniture, 10 regular plank makes 14 furniture, and 10 wood makes 17 furniture. Then obviously the next thought for me would be to simply distribute all of our regular planks to this, right? So if we go back over to this, we should be able to go to our regular planks, and instead of having it directly sell, we simply change it to distributing. So now every pallet that it creates will go to making furniture, right? Now, I don't know if this has a, like if I just fill this up with everything, if it would work to have everything else work, or if it would split the production. So for now, I'm simply just going to go with storing the furniture, and we will be distributing our short planks to this to try to fill it up. Now, we will create several pallets a month of short planks, and hopefully that is enough to keep up with the production of this building. Only time will tell. All right, but that's the thought process for now. Worst case scenario, I can always start loading it up with wood as well. I mean, we do have an entire forest behind us that we're going to be working on, so it's not really that big of a deal. But now we've got a lot more areas that we can kind of work on as well. We only have $20,000 left, though. I have spent all of our money, so I think the next thing would be to simply start moving all of our equipment inside. So that'll be our next goal here. So let's grab Lil Red over here, since it's got the front loader. Drop the trailer for now. We'll go pick up the front loader, move it inside, come back, grab the fork or the log forks as well. I don't know why I'm staying so far back. Right. I guess I could have brought something else with me as well. Might as well grab the grass roller. But yeah, any sort of farming implements will be on one side, logging stuff will be on the other side, I think, to kind of keep everything somewhat separated. Drop that. And then I'm going to put the front loader attachers over here. Go ahead and drop the bucket there. We'll grab the log fork. Put the wrapper on the back of this thing. We'll move it into the building as well. Alright, so for the front, to drop that there. Detach the forks. Set down our wrapper over here. Get our windrower, mower, and our baler brought in as well. And the best part is you'll be able to see, like, despite having all of this area to store stuff, I think we're still going to end up in a situation where we kind of run out of room in this building. Because I don't want it to be too cluttered. We got plenty of room. We may not have all the money we need right now to get everything, but I don't want it to be clustered. Or cluttered, sorry. I keep saying clustered. But now we'll bring in the windrower. And because we let the back of the building, like, drive in, like, we can drive in either side too. Which is kind of nice. I didn't realize that was going to be the way this ended up, but I don't hate it. Specifically for any sort of long implements. Our windrower. Let's grab our baler, bring it inside. Now the other thing I am going to pick up today also is a washer for down here. Now we do have a pressure washer up in our garage up top. I could just put that on a trailer, bring it down, wash off equipment, but given the fact that that would require me to go through that every single time I want to wash something, I don't think that that's the best play. So I think what I'll do is I'll just have a pressure washer down here as well. And that way we can always keep all of our stuff nice and clean. Oops. Forgot we don't have the best turning radius in the world. So that's that. And now I think the bale trailer is the only thing left for the baling side of things. We do have a water trailer. We have a weight. Don't remember. I think this weight has a trailer hitch, so let me do that as well. So we'll grab that, and then we want to be on this so that we can attach the trailer to it. Take both of them at the same time. Perfect. Trailer sticks out a lot further than I gave it credit for. Alright, we're going to drop the weight over here next to our forks. Because if we're ever going to need the weight, that's when it would need to be happening, right? So we're going to grab something with the forks. Drop that there. I think we can park old Red there. Actually, old Red's still going to end up sitting over there at the sawmill for the most part. Hooked up to the TARDIS. We can go ahead and bring the planter inside, the tree planter. Talk about muddy mess. Now, there's not going to be any, like, jump cuts for you guys in this one. This will just be all me talking for once, so hope you guys enjoy. It doesn't happen very often, but this kind of episode doesn't really lend itself to being, like, time-lapsey or jump cuts or anything. It is solely a hang out with me and let's get this stuff done sort of episode. Here, grab the TARDIS next, I believe, or the cultivator. Either way, or subsoil, whatever this thing is. Grab this. This will go on the left wall. Should be just enough room left to park this thing. Now, I was pretty generous with the amount of room that we gave everything. So we could make it a little bit tighter, fit more stuff in here if we have to, but again, I ain't worried about being super tight on everything. Trying not to be overly cluttered. But I think this building is pretty good for us because, again, it's like the perfect size, right? Gives us enough storage to do everything we need to do for the time being anyway. Alright, now unfortunately on that left wall we don't really have room for this, so this trailer will end up being on the right wall. I'll probably put it at this far end here. Been a while since we've taken Little Red out. It's kind of nice. Kind of nice getting back to our roots, driving the old little tiny Massey Ferguson around. When you're used to driving gigantic equipment around like semis and giant excavators and all of that stuff, it is kind of nice to once in a while go back to your roots. And now I've got to figure out how to flip this freaking thing back up. can't cheese this. You can see it wants to flip up. It's just being difficult. By the way, if you don't know what this is our winch. Our original logging winch. It's a stubborn little turd, isn't it? Slow. Got it. Perfect. Knew I could figure it out. Just had to use both of my brain cells for a second. Alright, logging winch has officially been picked up. And we can go ahead and nudge this pallet of bale wrap over as well. Get a little bit closer anyway. Could just use the back, huh? Problem is, the pallet wants to turn instead of just like sliding. Alright, whatever. Whatever! It's a liftable pallet, I just grab it and move it in a minute. But put this next to our planter. Never know when we might need a little winch again. Perfect. Honestly, I think that's it for Little Red. Maybe Little Red can, actually, you know what? I'm going to park Little Red in here anyway. I'm going to park it in here for the time being. Because I'm going to get a pressure washer out, and we're going to spray everything down today. So that'll be something to do as well. Alright, let's jump in Little Green. Bring in the stump cutter. I was worried about the size of this building, but I think it's actually perfect, to be honest, for at least what we have down here at the moment. Let's put the stump cutter right here next to Little Red. Try not to crush Little Red in the process. Alright. And that should be everything in here except for our trucks. So I would like a place to store our semis and stuff. So, but that'll have to be a different episode because we just don't have the money at the moment. Let's grab this pallet, bring it inside so it's not out in the weather anymore, even though it's been out in the weather this entire time. It's been sitting outside for years. It's alright, it's plastic wrap, for God's sakes. The only thing that'd be torn up would be the cardboard. Oops. Why are we doing that? Alright. And I think it's time to go ahead and get us one of those fancy little pressure washers. $4,300! Good Lord. Getting more and more expensive, I swear. Alright, let's just put that down there. And let's get to washing everything. This will be the first time we've actually washed everything this entire playthrough. Some of this stuff isn't real bad, but a lot of it has been used and abused and put away dirty. So, going through and cleaning it up is always going to be a good thing. And for those of you who've been around since the very beginning of the series, finally seeing this old equipment getting sprayed off has got to be a sight for sore eyes, huh? Look at this weight. Even our weight is dirty. Our big old tree planter. This thing's gotten plenty of use. Thing has planted, what, 400 to 500 trees, somewhere in that neighborhood we've planted with this thing. Maybe more. And you can tell because it does not want to get clean. It's got some of that stuck on grease and mud, man. Really hoping they clean up a little bit more, but I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Alright, we are going to have to move our washer. The old stump cutter's got quite a bit of hours on it as well. It's going to be a minute to clean this. Boy, she's a mess. Oops. Alright, that's the end of that, so let's go ahead and move it on down. Move this down to like here. And wash Lil Red for the first time in her life. Lil Red is finally getting washed up. She deserves it, man. Same for Lil Green over here. Deserves it. Been through heck here at Hidden Spring Timber. By golly, here we are. We'll spray off the TARDIS trailer too. Make sure that it's nice. It hasn't been used all that much, but it was integral to us staying alive while we had the load. So we had to have that greenhouse running, keeping our heads above water for so long. Of course, our subsoiler's been used to plant a bunch of grass, but it actually won't be around that much longer, I think. Maybe it will. I don't know. I'm going to try to see if there's a better version out there for us as we get into the farming side of things, because this is just not quite big enough for what we're about to get into. When we split off and do the farming side of things, we're going to be going big. So, bigger equipment, big implements. Like we're going to have the money to do it because we have the logging as our backbone, our financial provider. We're going to get to go straight into heavy hauling farming. After all, we got an entire town to build, right? Again, I don't know how much I'll be able to build in terms of a town, but we'll give it a shot. We do have limits as to what you're capable of doing in this game, specifically on console like I am. So again, I'm not sure exactly what we'll be able to get away with, but we're going to give it a shot. I want to do this playthrough justice. I don't want to end for no reason. And I know you guys want to see it too. Spray off the wrapper. Hasn't been used much at all, but still could do with a little bit of cleaning. And then the old grass roller's been put away dirty, that's for sure. Good little unit. There you have it, folks. For the first time ever, all of our old equipment has been cleaned. Now, we still got our trucks and stuff that we have to clean and all that stuff, but that'll come with time. They're still being used pretty heavily, so they can wait. But on that bombshell, I think that's the perfect place to call it for today. I know it's a different style episode, but that's what you guys have been wanting. I've been talking about building the equipment storage for a while. We finally got that taken care of. We're not done. As we get more money in the future, we'll definitely be expanding our equipment storage and all of that stuff. But we've got a new production up. We've got lots of good things. So if you guys are interested in seeing Phase 2 of Hidden Spring Timbers kicking off in a theater near you, let me know down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.